2017, my voice was up there, and I was under threat because what I was saying was against what that government was doing. Of course, at the end of it, there was the coup. That gave us a chance to regroup as a nation and bring everybody to the table. But that didn't happen. So for me, it was, okay, how do we help the guys that are in so that they understand that we need to be inclusive in our approach and make sure that we don't have an us and them, the polarity that was there, the toxicity that was there. And that's when we felt that there's need for some advisory around the presidency. So we approached the presidency, you and I, and proposed to him exactly what needed to take place. We had an amazing conversation. At that time, there was also a cholera outbreak, and we needed to push in a proposal that will mitigate and stop this pandemic that had settled in and was killing quite a few of our citizens. The president was gracious and accepted everything. Now, I was abused in the social media, but it wasn't my turn to fight and tell them what we were doing. Because in me, it wasn't to prove a point to anyone, because I wasn't going to benefit anything in it. And I wasn't even looking for an office. I wasn't even looking for political power. I wasn't looking for money. And I'm still not looking for political power. I'm still not looking for money. But I'm looking forward to a Zimbabwe where we live in harmony and everyone has an equal opportunity according to their gifts, not according to their status.
Let me press you, not press you, but get a sense of, so this flag, to all intents and purposes, got people excited, but flopped. Povo got young people excited, but didn't get the patches from the public. APA got people excited, but it never went anywhere. What's your reflection on those three and their fortunes?
My reflection, after having been involved intimately, and I mean intimately, because some of the meetings were in my home, intimately, was that power is a contact sport. And it is contested. So it is not given. And that you cannot contest it from out there. So whilst people go on social media and give the pressure, by the way, social media pressure is necessary. But it is not the one that gives you the flag to put in a place and say, look, this is now my space. So because power is a contact sport. So for me, I then got the conviction that I need to actually be close enough to power to influence them that the thing that they're doing is wrong. But this is the way that it should be done. And then even if they did that, they wouldn't lose power. They would actually gain more power. But so that's what it caused me. So if you try everything else out there and you're throwing stones from afar, it doesn't help. And that is where people don't understand that even as an advisor in the Presidential Advisory Council, why have I stayed there? Because that's where the power is. Why would I want to go and scream outside when I know that my screaming from outside is not going to help? But I can still do both. Scream from outside and influence what's happening inside.
So clearly your being in the PAC has given you an opportunity to scream from inside, but you've been frustrated. It's obvious, it's clear that you're obvious, and you've decided to scream from outside. And some people are saying, but if you are so frustrated, why don't you resign?
Because power is a contact sport, and that I'm not in there for personal gain. Because when I still see people without water, without health, without food out there, why am I resigning to go and join them? When I'm leaving the place where we can make the change. Now, people will still argue, if there's no change, why don't you stay? So we all go bunch up in some miserable corner and think that the change will come. I don't think so. And this is just a frustrated reaction when people say, look, I'm leaving. It's just a frustration. And I don't act on that frustration. All we need to continuously do is to knock on that door, and sense will come through. You know how much we've had to move. Even if it is just an inch movement, it was an inch movement better than nothing. And we have to be careful that we don't then get too complacent and say, okay, we've done this one here, so let's sit back and relax. There's much more to be done. So I'm not worried about that. To say, look, why don't I join the bandwagon of people to just join on social media and scream from social media? That is necessary, but until you have connection and contact with power, you can scream all you want.